Gospel music often feels like sacred ground, filled with choirs, praise, and voices that touch the heavens. But behind the robes and songs of salvation, many gospel legends carried private struggles that tested their marriages and faith. These stories aren't here to shame, but to show that even the most anointed leaders wrestle with human challenges. From betrayal to restoration, from heartbreak to healing, here are 15 gospel icons whose personal journeys remind us that grace meets us even in failure. Hezekiah Walker. Known as the pastor of hip-hop gospel, Hezekiah Walker reshaped worship with choir anthems like Every Praise. But his highly publicized divorce in 2013 from Monique Walker stirred whispers of infidelity and deep personal conflict. Though Walker kept the details private, his later music reflected resilience and trust in God, proving that leadership can continue even after personal storms. Marvin Sapp. Marvin Sapp's Never Would Have Made It became a global anthem of hope, but his marriage to the late Dr. Melinda Sapp carried struggles often hidden from public view. Ministry pressures and rumours of marital tension surrounded their union before her passing in 2010. While Sapp never confirmed details, his later music carried a weight of grief and endurance that revealed how personal trials shaped his ministry. Donnie McClurkin. Donnie McClurkin's voice defined modern gospel with songs like We Fall Down, but he has been candid about his brokenness, acknowledging strained relationships, moral failures, and inner battles. His openness about shortcomings, including missteps in love, made his ministry uniquely vulnerable. Rather than pretend perfection, McClurkin showed that falling and rising again is part of faith's story. Kirk Franklin. Kirk Franklin revolutionized gospel with urban beats and bold lyrics. Yet his marriage nearly collapsed under the weight of hidden struggles, including his own confessions of betrayal. Instead of hiding, Franklin chose counseling, transparency, and healing with his wife Tammy. Decades later, their restored marriage stands as a testimony that forgiveness can triumph over failure. Marvin Winans. As part of the legendary Winans family, Marvin Winans was gospel royalty. His marriage to Vicki Winans ended in the 1990s after he admitted to unfaithfulness, a revelation that shook fans. Their split produced some of Vicki's most heartfelt songs, while Marvin rebuilt his life through ministry. Their story remains one of gospel's most talked about lessons on love, loss, and restoration. John P. Key. The Prince of Gospel, John P. Key, openly confessed to infidelities that nearly destroyed his marriage. Unlike others, Key chose transparency, sharing his failures from the pulpit and turning them into a ministry of restoration. His marriage survived, and his testimony remains a powerful example of honesty, humility, and second chances. LaShun Pace. The late LaShun Pace lived through heartbreak, illness, and divorce. Though insiders whispered about betrayal in her marriage, she never publicly exposed it. Instead, she poured her pain into her songs, giving the world worship filled with raw power and vulnerability. When she passed in 2021, she was remembered not for scandal, but for strength. Daryl Coley. Daryl Coley, with his unmatched 5-octave range, later admitted to infidelity during his ministry. But rather than sensationalize it, he used his struggles as a testimony of redemption. His honesty shaped albums that carried deep introspection, showing fans that even broken vessels can sing of God's grace with truth and power. Andraé Crouch. Andraé Crouch, the genius behind Soon and Very Soon, never married, and his personal life was often the subject of speculation. Yet he never let rumours define him. Instead, his songs reflected a deep longing for connection and an unwavering devotion to God. His legacy proves that while his life carried mystery, his music carried eternal truth. Closing thoughts. These 15 gospel legends remind us that anointing does not erase humanity. They sang of salvation while struggling through heartbreak, betrayal, or personal failure. Yet, each found a way to keep singing, preaching, and pressing on. Their stories challenge us to ask, can someone fall and still lead? The answer, seen in their journeys, is yes. Because in gospel, the greatest testimony isn't perfection, it's perseverance.